In 1987, Thrangu Rinpoche founded Shree Mangal Dvip Boarding School near the Great Stupa in the Kathmandu Valley of Nepal. It was open to serve the needs of children from the Himalayas where there are no schools. They offer education, housing, medical, and dental care to hundreds of mountain kids. Most of the children are from the north of Nepal, but culturally and linguistically they are Tibetan, and their thinking is Buddhist. For centuries, the teachings of the Buddha have flourished without interruption in the Himalayas of Nepal.
Thrangu Rinpoche, who is our founder, is a refugee from Tibet. He came out of Tibet in 1959 when the failed uprising happened and the communists took over. He escaped to India and eventually landed up here in Nepal. Nepal is one of the countries who gave Tibetans safe harbor. Rinpoche found himself living in a cow shed about 2 hours outside the Kathmandu Valley in an extremely poor part of Nepal. And although he'd lost everything, he realized he was richer than anyone he saw. He could read and write. And he made the contract with himself then that if he were ever in a position to help, he would offer education and health to the poor. And he spent the rest of his life in exile here in Nepal doing just that.
Yeah, and you can mix. Yeah, but and this stuff.
The school opened in 1987. We offer an ordinary education for everybody, a secular education. The monks and nuns get an education in Buddhist philosophy and ritual in the monastery and nunnery.
This school is a unique school in the country, first of all. Unique in its nature, and because this is the only one school we have nun and the monk student together with the day scholar and the boarding student. And the day student and boarding student, they don't feel uneasy to sit with the nun and the monk student together in this school, because this school was opened by the monk, and they are not able to go home because their home is very far from here. So they live here as long as they can, and after finishing their study they can go home and then they can work for their village. So this is the unique school in the country, and the free education to them. Everything is free, nothing, they don't have to bring anything here, everything is free of cost. Every year we take 50 to 60 new students from the village. After finishing class 10 they go to class 11 outside. We don't have class 11 here, we send them outside for the higher education. If the students are very good, we send them abroad also for a higher education. We have already sent 2 of them. One is in Italy, one is in Norway.
Smile.
Thrangu Rinpoche's main aim in having this school is to keep the language and the culture and the way of life of Buddhism alive. In the north of Nepal, there are no schools, there are no roads, there are no airstrips, there are no hospitals, there is nothing. In the mountain villages, in some villages where our children come from, 1 in 4 children lives to be 5 years old. They're dying of things like common colds, flu, measles and chickenpox. Education is far beyond these people's reach. However, with an education, the children have a way to make their way in life. They are able to go back to their villages and help their people. And the grand aim, as we say, we Buddhists say, the noble aim is to keep the culture alive and the language, and by so doing, keep the way of life that is precious in the Himalayas, the Buddhist way of life alive. For this reason, His Holiness the Dalai Lama has given us full support.
You can help by sponsoring a child or donating directly to the Shree Mangal Dvip Boarding School. please visit our website at himalayanchildren.org and join us in furthering Thrangu Rinpoche's noble work.
We are in a strange position. Our kids are Buddhists, they speak Tibetan, they look like Tibetans, and they dress like Tibetans. But they're Nepali, and they are not refugees. The world doesn't know about their plight.